Hello, everyone. We are here in Rome in front of our hotel, which is this beautiful boutique hotel. Over here, really cool stuff inside. And we are going to do a Rome walking tour. Specifically, we're trying to find this restaurant we went to last time that had the best cacio e pepe in the entire world. It's Lumi's favorite. So we're going to do this walking tour in Rome.
Best cacio e pepe we had on that Italy
Yes, on the entire Italy trip. So we're going to try to find the same restaurant. And here we go.
And I had cacio e pepe every day that trip.
Yes,
so
she did.
I feel I'm the credible source.
Okay. All right. So we're going to do the walking tour of Rome. And we're also going to find this restaurant. And let's see if we can find it.
Cose olan böyle.
Go across the street and check out these beautiful ruins here, just hanging out in the center of the city. I love this about Rome, where you have these ancient ruins just hanging out. Look at that. Beautiful ancient Roman ruins on display for the general public. You don't find this in most cities. And there's a very peculiar sign here that says, "Don't call the cats." All right, so apparently this is an issue here in Rome. Cat calling. Maybe that's a metaphor. Oh, and here we go. Look, there is a cat, a kitty. Oh, here's a little kitty. He looks very relaxed. Here's a little kitty.
Cat nap.
Cat napping. Very cute. You can imagine that this was perhaps a temple or some theater or some administrative building or some neighborhood at some point. Not exactly sure what this was, but this is probably thousands of years old, dating back to ancient Rome. So the weather in Rome is pretty hot right now. When we were here 2 years ago, it was equally hot. Very difficult to walk during the day. Right now it's about 6 o'clock in the afternoon or early evening, so it's a little bit better. Sun's gonna set soon, but there's been heat waves across Europe, and it seems to be a yearly phenomenon now. Unfortunately, a lot of scientists are saying this has to do with climate change and global warming. So that's the reality we live in. There's many heat waves across major European cities in the summer, which makes it quite difficult to move around during the day.
Myśmy dłużej w jednym miejscu, 2 tygodnie.
I teraz gdybyśmy może pojechali do Portu na 3 dni.
Okay, so the lights turn green. We're going to cross. So this is now my third trip in Rome. I was here about 10 years ago, and then 2 years ago, 10 years ago I was here by myself, and then 2 years ago I was here with Lumi, and now we're back.
And it was like, just for the shop.
cat or something.
Oh, these are really beautiful. I love these Venetian masks. So cool. Yeah, very, very cool. That is amazing.
Pantheon.
And here we're at the Pantheon.
Go in front.
And let's see if we can get inside the Pantheon. It's very lively in the evening. You can see people playing music, having dinner. Okay. Lumi's a big fan of bubble tea. So.
Last time there was only one and it sucked.
Whenever she sees bubble tea shops, she gets very excited.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. We'll find some bubble tea for you. Oh, there's a car behind us. We're just going to move out of the way. There we go. A lot of people are eating ice cream or gelato, which is very popular in Rome. It almost seems essential to have an ice cream or a gelato here in the summer. Let's see if we can get across from this angle. So this looks like the exit on this end, which means that the entrance, if we can still get in at this hour, would be somewhere else. Not too sure. But here we are. It looks like there's still people inside, so perhaps there is a way to get inside. I'm going to ask the security guard here. Hi, how do we get in? From here? It's closed? Okay, great, thank you. When does it open tomorrow? 9 o'clock? Okay, great, thank you. All right, so it's closed for today. There's no way that we can get in. We'll have to come back tomorrow, but you can look. I'm gonna get as close as I can with the camera. Yeah, the most famous thing about this building is actually the dome. The technology to build the dome was actually lost for hundreds of years after the collapse of the Roman Empire. So this dome was considered quite special, quite a unique feat of engineering at the time. Unfortunately, we can't go inside right now for us to see the dome, so maybe tomorrow during another walking tour we can go inside and check out the dome. And unfortunately, I don't have a drone with me, so I can't actually show you the aerial view, but I can show you many tourists. So you can look at tourists. So Lumi, what's your favorite thing about Rome?
It's just really epic.
Yeah.
There's so much, like walking through an art gallery, but
Yeah.
with giant buildings and monuments.
Yeah, for sure. It is. It's much. It's very much like a walking art or open air art gallery, as they
Less
say.
old, so better preserved in
Yeah.
Greece. A lot of the things in Greece are quite just like one rock.
That's true.
Temple of Zeus, half a pillar.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. It was just like what was remaining of the Temple of Zeus. It was like one corner pillar somewhere.
But it's also older.
Yeah, for sure. By a couple hundred years, for sure.
So I guess maybe the Vatican.
The Vatican was very cool.
The Vatican is like European architecture on steroids.
Yes. There's a lot of stuff in the Vatican.
And I'm convinced Legend of Zelda was definitely inspired by a lot of stuff that is the Vatican.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. A lot of video games were inspired by, European art. I remember this church. I've been inside. I think this is a church, and I'm pretty sure I've been inside this church. I don't remember the name of this place, but it looks familiar.
One bubble, two rags.
Because we're getting pretty close to Trevi's Fountain, and that's where we want to go. And from there, we're going to find, or attempt to find, this restaurant that we went to last time. Now, oh, this car's following me. Let's see if we can get into this church.
So you have chosen death.
Yes. Yeah, it looks like it's open. Most churches will allow photography and videography. Some churches will not. If they don't, then we'll leave. But if they do, then we will film the inside.
Signore è il mio pastore, non manco di nulla. Sì, con tale fedeltà mi saranno compagni tutti i giorni della mia vita. Abiterò ancora nella casa del Signore per lunghissimi giorni. Il Signore è il mio pastore, non manco di nulla.
Dalla lettera di San Paolo Apostolo agli Efesini. Fratelli, ora in Cristo Gesù, voi che un tempo eravate lontani, siete diventati vicini, grazie al sangue di Cristo. Egli infatti è la nostra pace, colui che di due ha fatto una cosa sola, abbattendo il muro di separazione che li divideva, cioè l'inimicizia per mezzo della sua carne. Così egli ha abolito la legge, fatta con prescrizioni di decreti, per creare in se stesso dei due un solo uomo, facendo la pace, e per riconciliare tutti e due con Dio in un solo corpo, per mezzo della croce, eliminando in se stesso l'inimicizia. Egli è venuto ad annunciare pace a voi che eravate lontani e pace a coloro che erano vicini. Per mezzo di voi, infatti, possiamo presentarci gli uni e gli altri al Padre in un solo spirito. Parola di Dio.
Posso dire una cosa, mi
Yeah, we went last time.
The really fascinating thing about cities like Rome and many other European cities is how they're built, which is so different from North American cities. North American cities are much more grid-like, and European cities, especially those with older parts of town, are very much like this, with cobblestone floors. Yeah, it feels like a maze. the architecture and the orientation between buildings is very different, a bit more organic in how they relate to each other. So yeah, very fascinating. I actually like this more personally. I've always been very fascinated by European architecture and cobblestone. I mean, that's the hallmark of any good European city. There we go, cobblestone, my favorite.
Coca-Cola.
No, there's actually an anti-tourist movement going on in Europe, at least in some cities. I've been reading on the news that in Spain, for example, in cities like Barcelona, the locals are squirting tourists with water guns at popular tourist destinations and at restaurants to discourage them from visiting, which I think is really fascinating. But many locals, I'm not too sure if that's an issue in Rome, but many locals in certain cities find that the tourists have essentially overrun their city and turned it into a theme park, and they're taking over more property through short-term rentals, making it difficult for locals to rent and to find property in their own city. And there's also, of course, the noise complaints and garbage, tourist behavior, especially perhaps young tourists, young adults coming to party, which has always been a cause for concern. Oh, this is interesting.
I've never seen the genie as
Oh, here's the genie actually coming out of the lamp. That's fascinating. Okay, so you can see that the genie is coming out of the lamp. Here he is. Here's the genie. He looks like a very friendly genie. That's actually really cool. Very creative. And the genie has a cell phone. It's a magical genie. There he is. He's very magical. Look at that. They say in the original Arabian Nights, and I have to verify this, they say in the original Arabian Nights, the genie could grant as many wishes as you wanted, unlimited wishes, and that only later on in the Disney version did they reduce it to 3 wishes, I guess to make the story more controllable, or perhaps it's better for the narrative arc. of the story. But they say the original story, the genie could grant unlimited wishes. I don't know what happens in the original story and what happens to the people who make the unlimited wishes. But that's what I remember. We have Italian police here doing something. They look happy, so I would imagine it's something positive.
We have been here before.
Oh, we have been here before. Yeah, this is this famous gelato place. Remember that? Yes, we're actually very close
We met
to.
the people from Denmark.
Yes,
here.
we met some friends from Denmark. Well, we met them. They were from Denmark, and we became friends. But we came to this particular gelato place, which was very good. It has excellent gelato. So we are, in fact, quite close to the restaurant that we want to find. It should be just on the street. This is the famous McDonald's. We will avoid it. Is it this place?
Shame on you if you come to Rome and eat McDonald's.
Yes. Don't eat McDonald's in Rome.
Shame on you.
Yeah, that would be a waste of one's trip. Is this is it? Because it has the Marilyn Monroe painting. Yeah, this is the restaurant. So we found it. Okay, we're gonna go to Trevi's Fountain and then we're going to come back to this restaurant.
Conclude for lovely people of the internet.
That's right. We'll conclude. We'll do Trevi's Fountain. We'll finish the walking tour, and then we are going to come back to this restaurant, which has the best cacio e pepe that we have experienced in
One of
Italy.
the best. I'm still on the hunt.
Yeah, she has not found it better, but we found the restaurant. See, it wasn't that hard. We just have to follow our instinct. When you come back to a city a number of times, you have an internal map and you can orient based on landmarks rather than necessarily a GPS, which is pretty cool. Now that I've been to a number of cities in the world, especially for cities that I go to quite often, I can navigate more or less reasonably. Not all the time, but I think I can get by without a GPS, at least in the downtown areas of most cities that I visit frequently. And of course, you can see that the Canadian dollar is one of the worst foreign currencies to own because unlike the euro and the American dollar or the British pound, it trades in a very weak way against other major world currencies. So unfortunately, if you hold Canadian dollars, it's not that strong as a currency of exchange. More beautiful Venetian masks. One of my favorite movies is Eyes Wide Shut, Stanley Kubrick's last film, and Venetian masks are prominently featured in that movie. It looks like the Swiss franc has appreciated in recent years, and the Canadian dollar unfortunately has not. And here we are, Trevi's Fountain, probably the most beautiful fountain in the entire world. This was carved about 300 years ago and still captivates thousands of tourists and locals on a daily basis. So one area of curiosity for me last time I was here was what is he holding, right? So this is actually, from what I understand, not Neptune. This is, I think, Oceanus. who is another sea god, but it's actually not Neptune. So Neptune would usually hold, and if I'm wrong about this, I apologize, but this is from what I remember. Neptune would usually hold a trident, but he's actually holding something else. So if you look closely at his hand, he's holding this little stick. And I spent a lot of time the last time I was here in Rome trying to figure out what is it that he's holding. In some other statues of Greco-Roman gods, they're holding this little stick as well. And finally, there was a museum curator who told me that he's holding a scepter, a very small scepter, but it's a scepter as a sign of royal power. And often you will see statues, especially of Greek gods, or perhaps their incarnated form in a form of royalty, holding a scepter in one hand and a globe in the other hand. So you have this small little stick in one hand and then a round spherical ball, which is a globe in the other hand, to signify royalty and dominion. So that's what he's holding. He's holding a small scepter. I thought it was a broken trident or maybe a scroll. It's none of those things. It's actually a scepter. So that's what I've concluded. If you're a historian and you have additional insight about what he's holding, and if I'm wrong about this, please let me know in the comments. Okay, so we're going to move out. We'll be back, I'm sure, tomorrow at Trevi Fountain, because it's always worth visiting on a daily basis. I can tell you they don't make fountains like this anymore. This is one of a kind. Okay, let's get that cacio e pepe. Cool.
الشنطة تبعتي وين حسين؟ ما نصرف المية هون؟ غلط؟ منيحة؟
Daar gingen we toen naar die IJsselropas toe. En dan waren hier was iemand op spelen. Dat je kijkt van knap. En dan zie je dat kleine knap. Zij zijn goed goed. Oh, dat was sneller. 1,42.
And of course, every trip is not complete without someone trying to peddle imitation luxury bags. Here we go. Very common across Europe, the peddling of imitation luxury bags. And here we are. This is the restaurant we want to go to, and I will show you. Okay, so this is the name of the restaurant, and I will show you this very famous painting of Marilyn Monroe right here. So Marilyn Monroe as a 17th century lady. Absolutely love this painting.
Do you have our reservations?
And I think I will end the walking tour here. Thank you for joining me for the walking tour of Rome today. And I will see all of you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.